Hi YouTube, on today's episode we're going to have the jet boil flash. We bought this not for camping, we actually bought this to warm up bottles when our daughter was very little, and we were in downtown Dallas at the park. We wanted to have warm water and none of the food trucks would give us warm water. And that was a big lesson for me because that was on a perfectly fine day and we couldn't get warm water for a bottle. That afternoon I ordered this on Amazon. And that way, while she was little, we could always have warm milk. And that was a big thing for us. So we could either make formula or we could warm up milk that we had cold or frozen. And that's why we bought it. And since then, since our daughter is older now, I use this for work. I travel a lot and I use Mountain House meals sometimes. And the reason that I like the stove is the fuel that it uses. You can just run into REI wherever you land, and this canister is $4 or $5. And I already have the Mountain House meals, and I've started using the single serving Mountain House meals because it's just, that's the right amount of food. The 2 servings are just not enough when I'm out working. And Walmart, if you're looking, Walmart's the only place that you can get single serving Mountain House meals. I haven't found them on their website. I haven't found them at REI. I can't find them anywhere else. So if you are looking for something that's less than 2 servings, that's a really good option. And they have the same meals, you know, stroganoff and lasagna, that kind of thing. And we put this together so you can see it. This is the configuration I normally carry it in. And we keep one of the fuels here at the house because I can't, you can't fly with the compressed gas or fuel. So I just take this. Sometimes I can just put it in my carry-on bag because there is no fuel in it. It's just a set of stove parts. And I also picked up this at a Cabela's. This is a Light My Fire. It's a spork and a spoon, and it's got a little serration thing here. It doesn't really do anything, but it's nice to have. The spoon, this thing is really durable. It's been thrown around in my bags and trucks, cars, on site, and it handles great. So if you're looking for a really durable just spoon, this is a really good option. This is the Light My Fire, and I love it. This slides right in the side here, so you can just set it right there. And what I'll do is I'll take that out. This lid here allows it to vent while it's warming up. And you can also use it kind of as a sippy top and drink out at the top there. Then you have your fuel that sits on top of your stove. And then you have your base. And your base just unfolds like this. You unfold on the bottom here. You flip over your fuel control. And you take your little safety cap off. I like to keep that just so when I'm not using it, nothing gets in there. And then you just screw it on until it's snug. And on this stand, there are 2 different size clips. You can get different sizes. This is just the smallest one. This is the original one we bought when our daughter was a few months old, and it's still lasted. It's been 3 years. Now, it's not used every day, obviously, but I mean, it's used kind of regularly. If I'm at the office and I'm in Dallas, then I can take it and have meals. I mean, it's had a few hundred, or at least 50 meals out of it. Then you just snap it in. I use the inner ring for this smaller fuel canister. Then on the bottom, this is a cup and a measuring cup. And this is what protects your base, which is what radiates the heat out. Then your lid, you can just slide on here, and now you have a cup to drink out of, or soup, or a small bowl to put some food in. It works really well. This lid, this material that they've made out of is incredible. It keeps, when it is inside of this, it keeps it really warm for a long time, especially in the cold. Not like, you know, Michigan winters or anything, but for Texas, for our cold, it definitely stays warm. So once that's done, You'll take and pour water in it, or you can put it on here and do it. One thing to point out is on the side here, there are little notches. There are 2 of them. And on the base, there are little nipples on both sides. And those just slide in and it locks. So that way it's one unit and everything. And then you would just put the top on. And just like any other camping stove, you turn your dial. This one has an igniter on it. You press your igniter and it lights up. One issue I have started to see, maybe because I just don't use it and probably because I haven't cleaned it at all, the igniter hasn't been working consistently lately. So it's just handy, just with all stoves, just to keep a little Bic lighter. It's cheap. You can toss it in there. And then once you have heated whatever it is you're heating, you have a little handle here. And this has been amazing. I've been able to hold boiling water to take it from this to a Mountain House meal. And you just, turn your little lid around and then pour it while this was very recently boiling. And I've been very impressed. You can touch it. One other really big benefit that I'll show here in a minute, these lines right here change colors as it warms up. They will change to orange as it goes higher. And you know it's boiling from a distance because you can see the orange color come up. So what we'll do now is I will light it and you can see the colors change. And you can see the actual process of making it work. Right. So we're going to take our water and we're going to pour it in just a little bit. And we'll set it on our stove. We'll turn the fuel on. Well, this is a good pretext to try out one of our new toys. Okay. So I'll take this and slide it on. And then on the side here, there is a variable fuel control. So you can just turn it up. And then as it warms up, you'll be able to see you can start to see the steam coming out of here. I know it might be masked by the smoke behind me. But there's steam starting to come out. And on the side here, I'll try and point it. You should be able to see the orange gain in intensity. And what I'll do, I'm gonna zoom in so you can actually see it a little better. All right, so as you can see, the orange is coming up. That lets you know it's boiling. And then you can take and just turn it off. Let's go back white again. So as you can see, this was boiling just a second ago. And I can actually take it and I can hold this plastic and I can hold this. So that's it. It is warm, so I mean, you can't hold it for forever, but that's it. So I mean, you can clearly hold this. You can hold the stove itself if you need to reposition it. And this was just at boiling level and for a minute or two. And we really like it. And again, this gauge right here, if you can tell, is orange, and that's your little temperature indicator. And then if you were, then you would just either pour in your food, if you were gonna go that route, or pour this water into something else. or mix in your drink if you're making coffee or something like that. They make some other attachments I've seen. I think they make a coffee press for this, or at least a coffee ground thing that you can make coffee with while you're camping. And on Amazon, this is $96 as of today. If you're looking for all kinds of things, so what would this be good for? This would be really good for camping. If you're going to go lightweight camping and you just need water and you're not going to cook steaks or anything like that. If you want something for emergency preparedness and you want something that can stay a really long time in your closet and never need, not need much attention, and you want something that's just lightweight that is specifically for water or making hot drinks, this is a really good option. The fuel is really cheap. This is really cheap fuel. And it can hold a good bit of water, so you can do, I think, 2 meals of Mountain House meals and then have some water left over for drinking. And if you are looking at something because you want, because you work out in the field and you want a hot meal when it's cold outside, this is great. I have loved it. I can stay at our vehicle and work and not have to worry about going into town or drive somewhere to get food. I can just have a warm beef stroganoff or lasagna on site. And this is a really good option. I like it a lot. I picked the little plaid thing, but they make different ones. The one I'm looking at on Amazon has a blue cover. They make different ones. So if you're looking for a stove specifically for water, not for cooking meat or large camping stoves, then this is a really good option. And again, everything, as you saw when I pulled it out, everything fits in this space. And this space, for reference again, since I just know it's on my iPhone, that's the comparison of the height and width of it. So it's pretty small for what you get. And the design is really good. Like I said before, this has been through, banged around with TSA, it's been in cars and trucks and wilderness stuff and all kinds of things, and toddler resistant. It's been thrown around inside of a diaper bag. So if you're looking at a stove, this is the Jetboil Flash, and the official name is the Jetboil Flash Personal Cooking System. Excuse me. And I really love this stove, and it's always good to have different stoves though. So if you're going to have one to specifically do this and you want something for emergency preparedness, you definitely need something like a Coleman cooktop or something where you can actually put skillets and things down on it. But if you're looking for something simple, then this is a great choice.